Kevin Kietzman, host of the podcast, Growing Every Day in Kansas City. Kevin Kietzman has issues. You ready for this tomorrow, Kevin?
I am. I don't remember the last time I played wiffle ball, but Mitch Wheeler, who's putting this thing on, has given me a special wiffle bat. Have you seen the wiffle bats that they have now?
No, but now I know he's in the tank for you because I have not gotten one of these bats to practice with before the game tomorrow. So now I'm kind of upset with Mitch.
Did you invite Mitch to your home?
No, and I don't think Mitch wants to come to my home. I have 3 kids under 6. Who wants to come to that house?
It was just me and him yesterday hanging out for about an hour at my house.
Well, you know, Kevin, you've got the nice quiet home, you know, the pool, the whole thing. My house is a mess. Nobody wants to come to my house right now.
I understand. Anyway, the wiffle bats are really cool. They're not those yellow skinny things anymore. They're like real bats, but they're plastic. They're cool.
Oh, so you've been working on a little BP, and you're getting ready for tomorrow.
Well, I haven't swung it yet. I just haven't.
Too busy swinging that golf club is what you're doing, Kevin Kietzman. I love it. All right, man. Well, tomorrow's going to be fun. Of course, the Battle Within, a great organization here in Kansas City, helping veterans and first responders on their journey with PTSD. And the Little Red Foundation, listeners of both of ours, kind enough to fund our teams for tomorrow's event. So it's going to be great. Looking forward to it. I guess Rex Hudler is the umpire for the game for us. So I hope you're also not in the tank with Rex Hudler, because then I know he's going to have a generous strike zone for your team, which I'm not happy about.
I may have to get there a little early.
Kevin will be working the ump starting at like 11 in the morning for a 1 o'clock first pitch. Oh, man.
No expectations. We're just going to have fun. Mitch did tell me yesterday, whichever one of us wins, we get to play the Valley Sports Kansas City team next year.
Oh.
That'll be Rex and Ryan and Joel Goldberg and Jeff Montgomery and all those folks.
Wow. All right. Well, that's going to be great. I'm looking forward to it. Hey, I just said this before the break, Kevin. Bobby Witt now is the first player in Major League Baseball history, or the first shortstop in Major League Baseball history, to have multiple 30 stolen base, 30 home run seasons. I would have thought A-Rod did that early in his career. He didn't. If Bobby Witt Jr. was a Yankee or a Dodger, how do you think he would be covered differently?
Oh, if he was on the Yankees, I think they would actually see that he is more valuable than Aaron Judge. And part of that is just the defense that he plays at shortstop and the role a shortstop plays on a team. And the fact that Bobby Witt Jr. is always involved in some way. It's not just, every third day stepping up and hitting a home run, that he's a more complete player than Aaron Judge. I think they would see the value. If you want to put a value on a player and have an award called the most valuable player, all you got to do is look at Bobby Witt and what he's done this year. The Royals lost 106 games last year, and now they're probably in the playoffs as he's come into his own. He was good last year, but he was great this year. He has flat out carried this team in every possible way.
No, that's a great point. Now, the team, though, is hitting the skids here a little bit. Obviously, it's not been a good stretch. They lost 3 in a row. They are playing Detroit today to wrap up that 3-game set, trying to avoid the sweep tonight out at the K. They're a game and a half up, it looks like, for that final wild card, but Detroit's closing in. So how big is this game today for the Royals and their postseason hopes with 2 weeks, not even 2 weeks left?
It's amazing because everybody that I talk to, nobody's talking about the Detroit Tigers, the team that beat the Royals the last 2 days. That's the only team we should be concerned with. The Royals are not catching Cleveland to win the division. They're not likely to catch Baltimore for a wild card spot that would let the Royals play at home. So it looks like it's going to be the Royals and the Twins are the road wild card teams, and they would have to go to Houston and then probably Baltimore, one of the two teams. Nobody's looking at Detroit. If Detroit wins this game against the Royals today, they're 2 games back of the Royals for the final wild card spot with 9 to go. The Royals have wrapped nothing up yet. All they needed to do in this series, Pete, was win one of these 3 games, and they would essentially eliminate Detroit. But if they get swept in this series, it's on. With 9 games to go, there's nothing guaranteed for the Royals. If they win this last game in this series, the Royals are like a 99% chance of making the playoffs. They are pretty much in, and Detroit would be too many games behind.
So what's going wrong for this team right now?
They're not hitting. I mean, they scored 5 runs early the other night for Seth Lugo. They were up 5-1. He's been their best pitcher. Then he got rocked, and the bullpen was even worse. Last night, Cole Reagans pitched 7 innings, gave up 1 run, but the Royals only scored 1 run in this game. They're getting runners all over base. They stranded 10 or 11 runners last night. They're just not getting the runs across the plate. Their additions to the team have been pretty good since they lost Vinny Pasquantino, but they really miss Vinny Pasquantino hitting behind Bobby Witt. They really do.
Gosh. All right. So here we go. We got a couple of weeks left in the season. We'll see how it all plays out for the Royals. Kevin Kietzman is here. His podcast, Kevin Kietzman Has Issues. Check it out wherever you get your podcasts. Kevin, the big news for the Chiefs yesterday. Of course, Pacheco's out for an extended period of time. Kareem Hunt is back with the Chiefs. What do you make of that move?
Well, it's interesting. Kareem Hunt had an issue with a young woman where he was violent against her, and then he wound up not really getting into legal trouble. It was all dropped and handled or whatever. In the process of this, he was telling the Chiefs 5 years ago that he wasn't involved in anything and didn't do anything wrong. Then TMZ got a videotape of a hallway at a hotel in Ohio where he's seen punching and kicking this woman like we saw Diddy yesterday did on the video that the Southern District of New York attorneys busted out on him. So he lied to the owner of the Chiefs. It wasn't the crime. It wasn't the fact that he hit a woman that was going to get him kicked off the team. He lied to the owner. And Clark Hunt said, "You don't lie to me. You're cut. You're out of here." The owner was actually involved in running him out because he lied. Apparently, they're forgiving him now that Isaiah Pacheco is injured and could be out an extended period of time. But know this, Kareem Hunt's not ready to play. He's probably going to go on the practice squad. He didn't do OTAs. He didn't go to training camp with a team. He's probably not in game shape. So this is going to take a while before this running back could be inserted into the Chiefs lineup. It is amazing how you forgive somebody for lying to you when you really need them, and that's what the Chiefs are doing.
So how do you see, if Carson Steele's the guy, how do you see Andy Reid tweaking this offense, if at all, in the absence of Pacheco and with Hunt having to ramp up to being game ready?
I don't think they change a lot of what they're doing. They just have different personnel. They'll have Carson Steele, who you mentioned is a rookie, and he fumbled in the game on Sunday. And then Samaje Perine, who's a veteran. He's been around 6 or 7 years. He's a good pass catcher in the backfield. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is still on this team, but he has to sit out the first 4 games because they put him on the IL. He is dealing with PTSD, which I know we've talked about with the battle within. He had an incident in his life years ago that just haunts him. And so the first 4 weeks he's out. He's around the team. So he's going to be back in a couple weeks too. They're going to have plenty of bodies around. I think it's open competition. They'd like Carson Steele to be the guy, but as a rookie, you don't know if you can trust him yet. Is he going to fumble? Is he going to take care of things? Is he going to know all the plays? It's going to be very interesting.
Is that Clyde Edwards-Helaire story public knowledge?
Yeah, I think it is. I think somehow his family was involved. There was some sort of a crime committed against him, as I recall. At one point, they discussed it or released a little bit of the information about what happened. I think it was a violent crime of some sort or a gunpoint issue or something like that. And it was not his fault, obviously, but it's something that to this day I think is painful for him.
Kevin, when you look at the next 5 games, I mean, they're 2-0. They could easily be 0-2, but the Chiefs are 2-0. Now they've got 4 road games in their next 5. At the Falcons, at the Chargers, home to play the Saints, at the Niners, at the Raiders. When you look at this stretch, just with it being 4 road games, it's one of the tougher stretches you're going to have in a season. What's a successful run here in these next 5?
I mean, if you go 3-2 in these 5, I guess we'll take it. That'd put you at 5-2. The Chiefs are not going 17-0. They're good. They just seem to know how to win games. The Chargers have my attention. The Saints we thought was going to be an easy Monday night game, but my goodness, they're setting scoring records. They scored on their first 15 drives of the season. Yeah. Every single drive for 15 drives they scored. Here's how remarkable the Chiefs win was Sunday. The Chiefs failed to get 300 yards. They allowed over 21 points. They committed 3 turnovers, and they only converted less than 15% of their third downs. They became the first team since 1991 to win a game with those numbers. 150 straight teams that had numbers like that lost their game, and the Chiefs found a way to win. So look, you got to give the Chiefs credit. They do know how to win football games. They have Patrick Mahomes. They make things happen when they get a chance, but they got a lot of work to do. They are not a finished product yet.
That's well said. Kevin Kietzman, the podcast. Kevin Kietzman Has Issues on KCMO Talk Radio. Kevin, we'll see you out for the wiffle ball tournament tomorrow, and you're going down, man.
Let's do it, and let's help thebattlewithin.org. Anybody that wants to donate to that, you can go to their website, thebattlewithin.org. These are great folks doing awesome work for our first responders and military personnel that are dealing with some demons.
Absolutely. Well said. We'll see you tomorrow, man.
Okay.
All right. Kevin Kietzman on 95.7 FM, KCMO.